Today was a very spectacular day in the markets. We had some clean price action today that we haven't had in quite some time. So today we had a very bullish day, and we just bought right up. We didn't have much news on the calendar. I didn't participate because I didn't get to take any trades, and I'll explain why a little bit later. But no trades for me today. But we had a pretty good day in the market. There were quite a number of opportunities that I could have capitalized on, but I'm just taking it slow. I've been doing some studying, doing some back testing, doing some refining, and I'm loving what I'm actually seeing. Like, trust me, guys, this is going to be really good. You know, what when I start showing some of these results, it's going to be really good. The only thing that I have against me right now is really time, and when I say time, is just it's not a matter of when I'll be able to doing some of these stuff. Is just the time to be able to do it, with my current work schedule, which honestly I need to make some adjustments to, which I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but something has to give. So let's get right into today's video. Today is Monday. We in a new week. It is the 11th. No, is it the 13th? It's Monday the 13th of April, and Nasdaq started out with a banger. So let me show you, get on the charts right now, and show you what we actually got to capitalize on today. So we opened up down here last night when we opened the markets at 6. We opened down here, did a little bit of a manipulation down, and then we just exploded higher. Today we actually ran for, let me see, from the top to the bottom of the range, it's about 650 points. So crazy amount of volume and one-sided price action. Not much selling, just some nice buys that we had. And we had this nice little gap down, so we gap down. I thought we would have came a little bit lower. I would have loved for us to come down into the fair value gap lower, but on the actual NQ contract, we actually came and we took out Thursday's low. I think we actually did take it out here, but it's a much cleaner reaction when we took out these lows here that we had from Thursday's buy up, and then now we ended up just pushing from there. So I guess the news wasn't so bad. So they still a blockade at the Strait of Hormuz, but we still reacting positively to the fact that we might have I might have some good news, so the market reacted positively to that. you know so um we ended up buying straight up. Yeah, man, so we had a nice little buy up here. This is the 4 hour time frame. This is the daily, this is the weekly. Currently this is the whole entire monthly candle. So not much manipulation. We had a little bit of a inversion here, even on the daily time frame, and this is when institutions stepped in and they decided that we're going higher. So honestly, the way it looks now, we might be heading back for all-time highs, which is not so far away. Like, it's not so far away. Another, let me see, another 1,000 points and we are back at all-time highs. To be honest, we could get back up here really quick, and yeah, that could be the low of 2026, and we could just continue ripping higher. So Let me now show you a little lower. So honestly, as you can see, not much selling, just some small pullbacks, and then we just continue just buying up. This is the 1 hour time frame, and you could have secured entries inside of here in the morning. So Asian bought up, London kind of consolidated. So range instead of pulling back, and then now pre-New York into New York just gave us some nice buy opportunities. Let me look at the 15 minute quickly. So the see the 15 minute here, you could have gotten a few entries inside of here. We are one there, one inside of here, another one here, another one here, inside of here, and here, and here, and then you just ride the move up. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that big of a move. I thought we would have maybe come up here, close in the gap a bit, and then maybe pull back and consolidate. But this is showing clear intention that we want to go higher. So tomorrow now, I should be seeing price maybe pulling back a bit, maybe a little bit down to here. We have a fair value gap here. I'd love to see a further pullback here, and then we go higher. But let us see what we get. Regardless of if we sell or we buy, then um, I'll be fine with that. I can find moves. I love the continuation moves regardless. So like I said, the accounts are still at the same place and no trades since about Thursday. Or I don't remember if I take any trades Friday. Maybe the break even that I took Friday, but no trades yesterday evening. And I am going to show you where I could have capitalized on some good moves. So I was on the charts from, let me show you. So I was on the charts from around here. I was watching here and I say, this thing consolidating a lot. Let me just wait and see. And I just got up to take care of some stuff. Prepping for the week. It's Sunday evening and I missed this nice buy opportunity that would have been actually the low of the week. And we would have caught this right inside the macro at around 8. And this would have been a beautiful trade. This could have given me maybe, this is a what, if I had risked 1/4%, I could have gotten my 1 to probably 2% there from this trade. And honestly, even if I close out some, I could have just held it right throughout the day. We didn't have much more entry opportunities, to be honest. Inside a day, you could have caught some scalps, but this was the ideal entry down here. This was another low. I guess you could have said yes, we could have gotten an entry right there. Let me show you. So we did tap into that order block right there inside of the macro. Nice buy entry right inside here, right around midnight. We had this pullback, and even the 10 p.m. candle, it pretty much closed like a doji. So we ended up opening here, consolidating, breaking back and forth right throughout until it closed right here for the open of Frankfurt, London. And that 4 hour candle open. No manipulation really. So this is another bullish candle we open. You could have caught some buys here inside of London. This is Frankfurt going into London. This is around 2 a.m. Some little scalps. So one scalp here. This one is outside of the macro. Another one here. Quick scalp. And then this one here before you'd have gotten taken out over here. But pure consolidation. This ran until 6. So this 4 hour candle actually had a manipulation here. The one for 6. So this one opened pre-New York right here. Pre-New York opened right here. We ended up running up and then coming back down. I was looking at price here. Well, I wasn't seated yet, but I was monitoring this, and honestly, this would have been a nice buy. Nice buy. I think we had some news driver coming in and we ran up for 60 odd points. just a range and then break out from this fair value gap. We then had a sell off within that same macro. This is around 7, coming all the way back down to below this 4 hour open. So this would have been the week on the 4 hour, all the way coming down here before we had this entry. So we had a nice little entry from this other block here and then another entry here. Honestly, this was a nice sell. Nice sell. Entry right here, entry right here, entry right here, coming all the way down. And then when you flip to buys, this could have been the low. Pre-market New York could have been the low here. And by the time I got to the charts, honestly, price had gotten all the way back up, somewhere up in here, so I couldn't get an entry. But I'm just looking at the price action, and guys, trust me, if you really took the time to understand the way how this market moves, then you realize how and why I'm so, like, I'm just trying to be calm now and patient and just know that I can catch the moves, you know. Nice little other black entry there going up. This is outside of the macro, by the way, but still the best entry would have been down here, but I could have gotten entries here and even here using this fair value gap, and here as well using this fair value gap. So this main push higher, I didn't want to get in here because I was looking at this thing and I'm saying, I know how these guys operate in New York. I know they can just spike it back down and then take out me. And then now I end up probably taking a loss or getting stop break even before we ended up running higher. So I didn't try to enter right there. New York, I hesitated again. I hesitated right in New York. I actually marked this out and I was watching here. We end up running up and see 9:30 open. We ended up coming down. I wasn't interested in any sales. I wasn't really interested in any sales, but I wanted us to buy up. I wanted us to pull back, I should say, to maybe down inside of here. You know, take out some of these little inefficiencies that we had in here. We had some no wick candles inside of here that I wanted us to come down into, but we didn't get that. So we ended up just buying up. So by the time we got to 10, right before 10 actually, 9:49, we had this impulse. And I actually prepped the magic keys, guys. And I was going to execute on this. And by the time I looked, the candle open here, and then we just started to scream higher. Because I was watching this first and I'm saying I don't trust this because the 5 minute candle did kind of look a way like it want to come down lower. So I hesitated, and by the time I could, you know, refocus and determine, it just shoot off. So this is a 5 minute order block that we came into and we just shoot off. Nice little buy up here. This was also a re-entry using this fair value gap. Nice re-entry here inside of the macro. We ran for a couple a couple dozen points. So you could have gotten an entry inside of this to maybe up here. This is 70 points before we ended up coming back to break even. Outside of the macro, you could have gotten your silver bullet entry inside of here. And if you're just patient and hold this, we just continue up for the day. So the stock market open here and the 4 hour candle opened right here. We manipulated back down. So based on this open right here, I knew we would have came back down inside of here. Manipulated, very small manipulation. So this is the week on the 4 hour, and this is a very impulsive buy day. So we ended up manipulating down here, then running all the way up, pulling back again for midday. So 11 a.m. candle did this quick push down, then come back down. We end up close. This is probably one of the only red candles today. Then lunchtime, midday lunchtime, we had this buy up. Sweet little buy candle here running all the way up throughout lunchtime, entry within the macro, pushing all the way up, sideways movement, and we, by the time we got to the close of this 4 hour candle, so we close. So from where we open down here, right here we close up here for, let's see, over 100 points, even though we close a little bit off the highs. But by this time I was already off the charts because I'm out from around here. From around here actually. I have to be off the charts. So I ended up didn't capitalize on any of these. But I was just checking and I see we had a nice little entry here again. This one is outside of the macro, but as I say, if you understand this thing, 4 hour new 4 hour candle open here, manipulated down. You could have gotten an entry here. If you want to wait for the macro, then you could have gotten an entry inside of here. So we have one entry here, another one here, and inside the macro before we just took off right through PM session going into power hour and running up another 140 points actually. So that is how we ended today. Pretty decent push, pretty nice clean price action, and if you're patient and just wait, then you could have capitalized on some great moves. But that is it for today's video. Hoping to capitalize tomorrow or so. But until next time guys, peace.